Okay, so here's the deal. I'm coming to this park, and there's a church picnic here. So I need to set up. So down at the flagpole I was thinking, but I think more probably up near the bathrooms. I'm going to walk over there and scope it out first. So I'll put you in the sleeve here, if I can get it done, and then walk over there and see what it looks like as far as setting up goes. So I could park closer, but I don't know. Looks like they're going to be using this field over here, so I don't want to get in the middle of that. And there's also this tree which I could set up in front of. So, looks like this transformer thing is going to be really good, because I can set up right there. Yeah, I don't want to make everybody upset, but you know what? That's what this is all about. This is getting in people's space. And that looks like a good spot, actually. Because look, there's something going on over here, too. So, yeah, right there at that. And what does it say? Keep out underground power cables. Notice hazardous voltage. I could probably just lean it up against that, and it would be good. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So, I'm keeping it turned on because I do want to make sure I get these. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? It's a crapshoot, you know? It is a crapshoot. If you do something and somebody doesn't like it, you know, there is like this fence up here though, but that looks like it's kind of close to what they're doing. See, if I was right there, I could do that, but I don't want to be in their face, you know? I don't mind going way out the back and just being cordial. And here's a trash can. That would be fine, right? I could be over here. See, I have to do this because if I don't, you know, I really think I have to do this. Because yes, I do know these people. And that's what's so interesting, is I know these people. And do I want them to talk about me? Well, you know what, they already did anyway, so what's the difference? But some of them just may know, may hear, and they're involved with the Baptist. Is this a revenge thing for me? Well, I don't think so. But you know what? Whenever you know somebody and you're going to go in there and you're going to tell them something that they don't want to hear, you have to wonder, Well, I don't think it's revenge. I think it's just they need to know too. I know the pastors are not telling them. So what do I do? So I just go set up and I do my own thing. No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. You're a vendor?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I am a free speech person.
Oh.
And so I just decided I don't want to be in anybody's face.
Okay.
So I thought I'd be back there where that transformer is.
Okay.
It's kind of
Well, I was just going to ask you.
out of the way.
Park your car down. What we're trying to do is keep this lot somewhat vacant until we get like people who come.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No, the volunteers and those that are participating at the lower park at the lower lot until we get that full. If you head down this road on the right hand side, there's a lot by the tennis
yeah,
court.
but I'm not going to this church, so it's just.
Okay. Fine. We hope you are someday.
Well, actually, I did go to the one in Skipback, and they kind of
okay.
squeezed me out.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. That was a shame. But I'm going to be setting up flat Earth banners. Did you ever
Okay.
hear of the flat Earth?
Yes.
Okay, I have scientific evidence for flat Earth, so
Okay.
I can speak.
Afterwards, or if I have time, I might be interested in hearing.
Well, I can give you a little handout if you'd like.
I think I have a nephew of mine who's a flat earth.
Well, I'm very scientifically oriented,
Okay.
but there's no doubt that there was a creator.
Right.
See this?
That's the best part.
Yeah, and
Whether it's flat or round doesn't really matter.
and I didn't come here maliciously. I just came here because it was a park and there was an event.
Hey, I agree. I happen to be a municipal manager for a living, not here,
Yeah,
elsewhere, so I'm fully...
yeah. Well, guess what? I'm having some struggle with Fisher's Park.
Oh,
Talmenson.
really? Talmenson?
Yeah,
Okay.
I grew up on that road, been there 60
Okay.
years. So I set up there, and this girl who
I
does the
worked for
events.
Worcester at one time.
Did you?
Back in the day.
I'm on Bustard Road all my whole
Okay.
life. So, yeah, so they are still struggling with that. But I stand my ground, and they have to realize that no matter what's going on there,
Right.
I'm not in anybody's face.
That's right. Good. I'm going to move my car.
All righty. Wow, that was a positive thing. Okay, positive. All right, do I want this? Well, I got my, yeah. Okay, this and this. Okay. And that. Oh, can't forget my. Okay. Okay, now I shove my key in there and I have to lock the car, so. Might just turn out okay. It might turn, oh, can't forget the sun. Woohoo, can't forget the sun. Am I still recording? Yeah. Love it. Okie dokie. Okie finokie. Here we go. You got a camera on that thing? Okay, I just saw this tree here. So I wonder, is this going to be better? It just might be. The tree might be better. Might be better, except I get full view of the eating place here. Well, let's just set up. All right, now just pray that I did not forget my screws. Yoo-hoo, they're both in here. That's awesome. Nothing worse than forgetting the screws. So yeah, so I'll tell you all about this church. This is a sister church to the one that I went to. And when I went there, I was always like, hey, let's, do things. Let's get involved. Let's get out there. And the straw that broke the camel's back was they had small groups that met in homes. And I guess I had been going to this one small group for several years, maybe 3, 4 years, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I was a single woman, and there were married couples. And occasionally there was another single person or, but anyway, they tolerated me. So, the one night, the guy, the leader of the group, it was in his house. He says, okay, what are we going to be doing as a group? And we have done things like gone to soup kitchen and worked in the soup kitchen. And we also worked at a food pantry. So those were the kinds of things, that we did as a church, and that was the right thing to do, right? So he says, all right, let's step out of our comfort zone. And I said, well, don't we want to? No, he didn't say that first. I said, well, let's go. I have two friends who have a ministry in front of an abortion clinic. And I said they would be happy to come and talk to us about their ministry. Oh, no, we're not doing anything like that, they said. So I said, well, what's the big deal? Let's just do that. Let's just listen to these ladies. I'm not saying we're doing it. Let's just listen to them. Oh, no. So then later on the conversation, he says, okay, well, everybody has to think about it something. We got to step out of our comfort zone. And I said, well, hold it. You don't want to step out of your comfort zone. Now, what does that mean? And, that was it. Like, everybody was like, oh, how dare she say something like that? And that was it, The next day, I got a phone call. Hi there. Next day, I got a phone call saying, Marilyn, we need to meet with you. And there, oh, yeah, okay. So after I'm done working my landscape work, I'm, hot and sweaty with my work boots on. I meet him at this pizzeria. Oh, and the other thing was, this guy that was just in our group maybe 6 months, he and his wife, he worked for pharmaceuticals, and she was a school teacher. So the deal was, he had a little plane. He was a pilot. He had a little plane. He started taking everybody on rides. Well, I don't need to do that because I dated a pilot. My dad was a pilot, and I dated a pilot. And my pilot friend Lane, he had a Cessna, and we would fly a couple times, well, at least once a week. And he had a helicopter, and I would go with him. And so we would go to the racetrack. He had a client who went up to the races and had horses and whatnot. So I was always in a plane. I didn't think that was a big deal. So this guy started taking everybody for rides in his plane. And I'm like, whoa, there's something strange. I had just had a bad feeling about him, So here, when it was time to kick me out, yeah, they got this pharmaceutical guy and the group leader whose house it was always in. And, I always got along with the group leader up until that point, And his wife, they loved me. They said so, Of course, you don't know, is that just church talk? Oh, we love you, but, you're crazy or something. I don't know. So, met at the pizzeria, and they said, well, this is your last chance, Marilyn. You can't talk like that to the group leader. You can't challenge him in any way. That's my term. They didn't say that. But they said, I can't talk like that. And they're, oh, okay, the talk I said, I didn't curse, didn't do nothing. I just said, what? Are you kidding? You don't want to step out of your comfort zone. So, so they said, what? I said, well, okay, so is this it then? Well, and so I said, fine, see ya. And I left, So it's like, they were telling me, and they laid it down like I had one more chance, or I don't know, it was something where there was some kind of ultimatum, and that doesn't go well with me, an ultimatum. So, that was what it was. So now this is the sister church to that. And I have been in this church too, because they've had events, and I would go to these events at this church. I don't have a problem with them. It's just I don't have a problem with them personally. I do have a problem with churches per se, because they tend to want to bring people in and lock the doors. You know, they do not like free thought. They do not want to be challenged. And they all claim that it's something about protecting the body. Oh, really? Okay. So, you know, these pastors are all trained. And I think this church is related to the Baptist, Southern Baptist. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I kind of think it is. So, anyway, that's where I'm coming from with this. I don't want to have any trouble, but I know these guys don't want flat earth, because that was part of the thing I had just started coming to flat earth when they kicked me out of the church. Like, I was talking about it and they didn't want to hear about it. So flat earth was part of it. They would not even watch that movie called The Principal. I gave it to that group leader and never got it back. And I don't think he watched it. But my goodness, that's something that's not flat earth. And they didn't even want to do that. So, you know, I just have a problem with churches who are not preaching truth. And, you know, God did create this world that we live in. So, He should be all over His creation. We should know Him by what He created. And let me get the 2-footers. So, is there any reason why a pastor would not say, hey, look what God created? Oh, He used evolution? Nah, that does not fly with me. So, that does not fly with me. I want the truth. And you know, I remember when I was young, 8 years old, and I had that number in my mind. But I was in the church, and they started talking about evolution. And I remember saying, no, that's not right. And I was really, that really put an impression on my heart that they would be accepting evolution. And that would have been, let me see, early 60s. That's what that would have been. So, yeah. I'll put this over there. I'm sorry if you're jiggling around a lot. It's just, I want to talk while I'm doing this. And, oh, goodness. But this is how you set it up. You know, and it's really not that bad. It's a nice, cool night. I'm wondering about that cloud over there, though. Don't look so happy. They were going to have this picnic last Friday, and it was so humid. And that was, we had a really bad lightning storm that night too. But it didn't rain. I don't know. So I hope they have a nice picnic. And I hope a lot of them come over here and talk to me. Because this is God's truth here. This is God's truth. And if that storm does come through here, I think I'm going to have to just lay this down. So, this is what we do. We go, and you know what? Jonah. This is Jonah. And you know what? I don't want to be swallowed up in the belly of a big fish or a whale or whatever. I don't want to be made to go. I want to go willingly, and that will make my service to God pleasing in His sight. If you go begrudgingly, God is not as pleased with you. So I go. I want to go with joy in my heart. And I think He gave me a sign by meeting that township guy out there in that parking lot. Because I think that township guy will be on my side. And thank you, Lord Jesus, for giving me that township guy, for support and encouragement, because that's how I'm taking it. Oh. I'm going to take everything as an encouragement, and that's what I'm going to do. And if I'm only here an hour and a half, that's okay. I can't really be here after dark, because you can't really see. So, let me see. I'll show you what happened. We got caught in the rain up at Jim Thorpe. And there are a few tiny little spots where rust got on from the grommets. But it's not like on the pictures or anything, so that's good. 2 footers. Here's the 2 footers. And here's the 1 footers. And here's the footers. Okay, here's the 2-foot legs. And I think I can put something around that and hold it. And that would be good. So if I get some bigger bungees, and I do that, I think that'll work. Don't you think that'll work? A little breeze coming up. Those clouds look really still. Like you can't stand and watch them move. They're not really, they're moving a little bit away. So that might be good. But then if you look through the trees, it looks a little dark over there. So we might not be clear. Okay. Ugh. Get another 1-footer in the back of this guy. Here we go. Okay, first one up. There we go. Now everybody can see. Everybody can see. Woohoo! Okay. There was something else I was going to talk about. Okay, here we go. Banner. Whoops, forgot the other leg. Foot on. And you know what? I left my other Yeah. So what do you think, guys? So that looks pretty good. And there's the there's that. Oh. So now I just set up and wait. And if God wants me to have some people come and look, then He will do that. Well, maybe I should have a... What does this say? Is there one that says, stop and look, take a picture? Yep, there it is. Stop and look, take a picture. This is the flat Earth. Did you ever hear of it before?
What is it?
The flat Earth.
No.
There's scientific evidence that we live on a flat plane and not a spinning ball.
Okay.
I can run this through in 30 seconds.
I'm good, actually. We're just walking. Thank you.
Okay.
Bob.
Yep. I just love this experiment. Rob Skiba, you done good. Yeah, Rob Skiba, you done good. Stop and look. Flat Earth 101. Now, you know what else? See, that's a little high on that side, so it doesn't look straight. I wonder if I could stick something underneath there. Do I have something little? Yeah, I don't know if I have something. I'm out of 2-foot pipes. All I have is, what do I have? 46s. That's when I wanted to set up really high. I put it in a 46. These are legs. 46 leg. You know what? Should I hang up something like Research Flat Earth? I still left the whatchamacallit banner. Oh, this is the Upside Down City. You know, David likes that. I'm just not so sure. It seems like a little silly. It does make you think, I guess. So don't feel offended, David. Well, you know, I'm going to talk about this too. There's people in the Flat Earth movement who seem to think that it's okay to just say density and buoyancy. And I disagree with that. Because density and buoyancy do not tell you what makes up and down. Up and down is definitely something that we have to address. Gravity addresses that. But, oh, I do have a foot pipe in here. Ah, that's why, because I have the two single feet are not. These two, I don't have it on there. There, that should help a little bit, I would think. So anyway, when you talk about gravity, that tells you what's up and down. Gravity is pulling towards the center of the Earth. I know the theory. So that tells them why our feet are on the ground and we're not standing on our heads. So there has to be some sort of force or reason why there's down and up. And I'll tell you what, diamagnetism addresses that, especially with our electric universe, that we have electricity above us following the dome. And I'll tell you how I got that diamagnetism. I saw some guy with his 2 hamsters, and he put them in a little, what do they call those things that go on top of the a mobile? Okay. Put it in a mobile, and he put his little hamsters in there, and then he used a magnet, and these hamsters repelled. And I'm thinking, okay. And I know over in Denmark they can levitate the frogs and the grasshoppers and whatnot. So why wouldn't that be a good reason? And it really goes along with these the elitists, the globalists, who do the opposite of what Scripture says. They hate God so much that they just do the opposite. So instead of being pulled down with gravity, why aren't we being pushed down with diamagnetism? It just seemed to click with me. Could I prove it? I don't know. Could I think I can make a case for it. But I think that would be something that we should look into. So, now what else on here? David made some good changes on the new banners we're taking to New York City. And they have the symbols, the United Nations symbols. He has them much clearer pictures. See, when we first made this banner, I didn't have everything on there. But then when I started using it and talking to people, I thought, you know, I need to have that on here somewhere. So that's when I just pasted them on there. I have the clear packing tape, and I just cut out circles and put stuff on there. And yeah. Hey!
Eric, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm going to give you a hug.
Are you?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. I'm going to give you a hug. I'm going to bring you. I'm going to bring you
see
water.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah. How are things going?
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, thanks.
Karen came over and said, I guess she said hi to you.
I don't know that I saw her.
Yeah, she came over here and like just walked by. I thought she said hi to you.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
She should.
Okay. Okay. Well, how are things going?
I'm doing this now.
Okay.
I've studied it for 2.5 years, and there's no way this globe, that we have a globe, that we're on a globe. There's no curvature. So I travel around with these banners, and I just saw here's an event in a park, and I really didn't come to be in anybody's face. I just do my free speech thing.
Sure.
And yeah, we been down to Ocean City twice. We're going again. Been to Jim Thorpe. We're going to be in Times Square next month. We take the banners, we go tell people all about it. So that's my ministry.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Are you working? Or are you going
No,
to
I
church?
take care of
or
my
anything?
mom.
Yeah. Are you still on, is that Bustard Road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drive sometimes when in fact, that bridge is closed. The one bridge on 40-foot road.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I take Bustard Road every once in a while to get over, you know,
Yeah.
like the Soderton area or whatever. So.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. It was good seeing you.
Yeah,
They were
too.
looking for volunteers. I came over here.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I came over here to volunteer. They're trying to do something with the, you know, with the residents and stuff.
Great.
So I said, you know what? I know how to cook hot dogs.
Yeah.
I can't mess up.
Yeah,
hot dogs. If I mess
I
up
like
hot
them burnt
dogs-
anyway.
Exactly. If I mess up hot dogs, you can fire me, but they won't fire volunteers.
Oh, no.
So I just want to come over and say hi.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I gotta
That
get
was
back
nice.
I gotta get back on. If you want a hot dog or
Oh,
if you want another water,
you're sweet.
just-
You're very
just
sweet.
look over. I'll grab one for you.
Thank you.
All right,
And
it's
you
good seeing
tell
you.
her to stop by.
I
Is she
will.
here?
Yeah.
Well, you tell her to stop by.
Yeah, she's here. I don't know where she's at.
Okay, I don't think I saw her. I would have said something.
Okay. All right, I'll send her over.
Thank you,
All
dear.
right.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great. Yeah, I guess I had some friends there, and maybe they don't know what happened. Maybe they don't realize what happened. But, yeah. So, yeah, so the last time I was at Fisher's Park, I had these banners up on the real high legs, and I was talking to some kid, and he said, that's a projection map. Now, what was I saying? Oh, it was over here at the map. And he said, oh, that's just a projection. I'm there, well, okay, so what? Projection, so what? I mean, it's not a globe. So we don't really know exactly. I mean, look at Australia here. I mean, definitely, there was always a question like, what's going on with Australia? It's a lot bigger than we thought. So anyway, I went down to get a bottle of water, and on my way back, I saw the kid. He knocked my banners over onto the ground. I thought, I don't know. He's really indoctrinated, and you know, I didn't want to argue with him. And that was another thing. Some people just want to argue. No, I'm not into arguing. Here's flat Earth, and I'll tell you what I know about it. And if you don't like what you hear, then have a nice life. You know, have a nice life. I'm not here to make trouble for you. And have a nice life. You don't want to hear what I have to say? See ya. But, yeah. I call this a teaching. We teach the flat earth. Because that's what we're doing. We're teaching it. And that's what we're doing. We're teaching flat earth. So that was really sweet of Jeff to come over. You know, people don't understand how important it is that we know that God's creation was created. They think it was a freaking Big Bang. Like, come on, it was not a Big Bang. It was not an accident. We are not accidents. You know? Yeah, we were not accidents. So, I don't know what these pastors are doing. They don't want to preach this stuff in their church.